What is up, everybody? Thank you for watching. This video is entitled Tools of the Trade. Um, in this video, I'm going to be going over some things, some tools that I use on every day, if not every Sunday basis, and my processes of preparation and in my process of worship on stage. Um, so we'll crack into it. First thing I'll get into is before we talk about sticks, before we talk about gear, I know y'all want to get into that kind of stuff, but I want to talk about the things that apply to a drummer before even getting on stage. A lot of this is my personal preference. What works for you works for you. That's all there is to it. What works for me has worked for years, and a lot of other drummers do it as well. And I learned from them to do it. Okay? So let's crack into it. Okay? I got a list here. Number one is clothing. It's that simple, okay? If you drum in church, what do you wear? If you're like us, you're a part of a Baptist church, everyone comes in collared shirts, long sleeves. Some guys even wear blazers, they're in suits. Like, I can't drum in a suit that well. I can, but the way I drum is very I get my body involved, and it wouldn't translate well. I would probably end up tearing something, and if I had to, I would. It's just one of those things where ergonomically it just doesn't fit for me, my personal preference. So on that, make sure you're wearing something that, you're not wearing your skinny jeans to where you can't even separate your legs. So when you sit down on the throne to drum, you can't even reach the pedal. It just doesn't make sense. For me, I wear what you see right now. I usually wear just a t-shirt. If I wear a collared shirt, it's usually because I'm playing our main auditorium and I kind of need to look good. We record those services, that we put them on the internet. So if I'm wearing a collared shirt, it's probably going to be not buttoned all the way up to here. It's gonna be loose. I'm gonna roll up the sleeves. One thing with long sleeve shirts, the button ups, is that they have the button right here and then the button right here, and there's that gap. Okay, I have ripped 3 shirts because my stick has gotten caught in that gap, and then I, go to hit a cymbal or a drum, and then it tears. The shirt's ruined. 3 shirts. So I've learned the hard way to make sure that second button is buttoned, or to just roll my sleeves up about, midway, halfway up. Usually I go all the way past the elbow because I get better movement like that. And just practically, I have big arms. I work out on a daily basis, so I have bigger arms. Skinnier guys can get away with wearing long sleeve shirts a lot better than I can. So usually I wear short sleeve collar shirts, button up, and I look presentable to a church. Lately here we've gotten a little bit more free, young and free. Has nothing to do with that band. It just has to do with trends and style. A lot of us has just been wearing shirts like you see. I've got a loose neck. It's a drop tail, which kind of gets annoying if you're drumming because you can't sit on it and then you feel like you can't move. But just wear the right thing. Just be comfortable. The last thing you want to do when you're when you're leading worship, when you're playing drums, is to be worried about, am I gonna tear a shirt? Or am man, like, this is stiff. Like, I can't play in this, man. Like, the last thing you want is for that to be in the back of your head. I heard a great saying at Hillsong when I was there, and that's, you can't lead people into worship if you can't lead yourself into worship. Lead yourself into worship, then you'll be able to lead people. Okay, so second thing. Number two on my list is these right here. The in-ear monitors, IEMs, in-ears. Usually they're just called in-ears or headphones or earbuds. These come in dozens of different types, all the way from about $50 to about you can get up into the thousands if you're getting the very, very high-end custom molds. I know people who have paid a lot of money for them, but they sound amazing. Anyway, what I have on right now is a lower-end Shure model. It's just a regular dual driver with the foam tips, okay? IEMs are good for two things. Two practical things, rather. They're good for hearing the details in the music. You can hear, it's like HD TV for earphones. It's the high definition of earphones. So these aren't iPod headphones with foam tips. No, you're going to hear people breathing. You're going to hear cymbal ticks that you wouldn't be able to hear with iPod headphones. And these are a lower model, but I still use them, especially in environments like this, because they don't completely encapsulate and close me in. I can still hear what I'm playing. Okay? If you're playing behind the shield, please use ear protection. What happens acoustically when you play behind the shield, drums project forward. Okay? So let's say you're the drummer right here. The shield is right here. Whenever you play, the sound travels forward. It hits that shield and then it bounces back at you. So not only do you have the initial, whenever you're playing, that sound coming back at you, but then you have the bounce back from the shield, the reverb. So you're basically getting 2 times the sound. If you've been behind the shield, you know what I'm talking about. It gets very tinny and it just gets loud. And you're like, how does this protect sound if it's so loud behind here? It's so loud behind here, so it's not loud out there. That's the point. That's how it works, basically. So if you're playing behind the shield, don't do what I did and go practice without ear protection. You'll hear it, man. You'll pay for it. So these are a lower model Shure. Shure is the company, SHURE. They make microphones, in-ears, etc., etc. Okay. These are what I use for practice when I'm in a room, not behind a shield, with carpet, whatever, so I can hear the drums. I have custom mold 1964s that I'll show you. If I use these, right now, I can't hear the drums. I don't know what I'm playing. So I have to use these because I'm not mic'd. So these are my 1964 triple drivers, okay? Whenever you hear people talk about drivers are basically tiny speakers within the in-ear itself. So I have 3 drivers that focus on 3 things: bass, mid, and treble. Some in-ears are more simple. They're single. They focus on, uh, bass, treble, and mid all in one. Um, some are dual drivers. They have bass and mid to low mid in one driver, then treble to high mid in the other driver. Okay, so you can kind of get the flow of what I'm talking about. 1964 makes up to a 12 to 16 driver model. They might even make more drivers, and that's extremely detailed. You're gonna get mid low in frequencies. You're gonna get high treble frequencies. You're gonna get low treble frequencies. All that stuff. So you have what I have basically divided into multiplied into broader categories, into more detailed categories into each driver. So the more drivers you get, that's more production into the year, therefore it's more expensive. The less drivers you get, the less inexpensive it is. So my motto is, you'll hear me say this time and time after again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And triple drivers have been working for me for close to 10 years now. It's not broken, so I'm not going to fix it anytime soon. Another practical thing is that goes along with in-ears is to clean them. A lot of wax builds up in these things, and they get built up. There's a little tube that basically pushes out all that sound. Okay, so every time you order in-ears, they should come with a little tool like this. It's got a brush on one end and then a little steel, looks like a little rake on the other one. And you can even see wax on that. That's pretty nasty, but that's having in-ears for you, okay? I'll clean one for you right now. This is going to be nasty. Disclaimer right now, if you are queasy, if you're prone to, I can't watch that, there's blood, look away, okay? So this is my 1964 full-on custom mold in-ear, and there's some wax in my right ear. Now I'm about to clean it. Okay. Yeah. Ugh. That's inside of a little centimeter opening right there. So you have people, some of our leaders, man, this was bad. They're always reminding us, clean your ears, clean your ears, clean your ears, clean your ears. And it's like, you're annoying, you're annoying, you're annoying. But I love you. You're annoying. Man, why does he keep on telling me to clean my ears? And then during one service, I stop hearing something. It's because I didn't clean my ears. The in-ear got so clogged, it stopped producing sound. It happens. It's gross, but it's life. It's the equivalent of having a stopped up nose and saying, I can't smell. That's what I look at it like. Then the brush end, sorry, wrong hand. The brush end is to clean off just basically the outside of your ear. Because you do get like dead skin in between that little crevice that goes inside of your ear and the outer ear. Get a lot of dead skin and just wax that builds up, and wax dries very hard, so it's almost like a steel wool brush. But Also, whenever you're ordering ears, almost forgot this. You have the selection to get soft tips or hard tips. I highly recommend hard tips. Why? Because I've been through both. I've had both. I've owned both. These soft tips have a tendency to tear. Okay, if you're like me, you're playing. You get to the end of a song like Faithful to the End. We've been doing that one from Bethel. And the crowd singing out loud. It's a great moment. You want to hear the moment, so you go to rip your ear out. And you see a lot of guys rip the ear out. Jeremy Riddle does it all the time from Bethel. He's one of their worship leaders. He's got one ear hanging and one ear in. Okay? So he's doing that so he can hear the crowd, so he can hear people. Okay? Also, there's probably going to be crowd mics. If you're in an environment, sorry, that was a huge jump. If you're in a more advanced church, you have a bigger budget. Let's just be blunt, for a better sound system. Your sound guy probably has installed crowd mics. If you're behind a shield and you're expecting to rip an ear out to hear the crowd, you're not going to be able to hear them that well. Turn up your crowd mic. You can hear them a lot better. So that brings me to the next step, and that is mix. What do you want to come through these things? Do you want guitar? Do you want keyboards? Do you want track? Do you want click? Do you want drums? Okay, again, personal preference on my end. What I like as a drummer to come through my mix, let's just start from the top. The main thing that I have to have in my mix as a drummer is the click. I have to stay along with the click, so I have to have it in my ears. That's the loudest thing in my ears. The second loudest thing, if you play with tracks, multi-tracks, things like that, more intense songs have more intense tracks. So I'll turn up track next. That will be the next loudest thing. The third loudest thing will always be the worship leader's vocal mic. It is super crucial to have your worship leader's vocal mic turned up. You don't have to have him blasting, but you have to know what he's singing. You have to know what he's guiding the congregation into. If your worship leader says, hey, let's go through that chorus one more time, but you have him turned down, muted to where you can't even hear him, you stop the click and start the next click, he's going to get lost. He's leading. You look at him always. I look at my worship leader always. So I'm drumming and it looks a lot like this. A lot of head nodding. Okay. And then I can go into a section. He'll turn around. Hey, congregation, let's sing that one more time. I stop playing. Then I turn around and then, sorry, I had to mute a call, but I have to be aware always because, especially because we have like 5 worship leaders and every single one of them is different. So one might want to go into a different section, the other one might want to go into this section, okay? So have your vocal turned up. Don't have a guy muted, okay? The fourth thing that I have turned up is bass. It's rhythm. Drummers, we keep time. We're in the rhythm section, okay? So turn the bass up a little bit. So that's just the overall consensus of what I use. The next video, we'll go into tools. Ear protection, models of ears, research on the internet, um, buy some if you can. I highly recommend them for practice. Um, Also, download metronome apps on your phone and always play with the click, even if you don't at church during service. This will instill in you the discipline of playing concrete on time. You, as a drummer, I, as a drummer, my first job is to keep time. So, click track apps, in ears, and next video we'll get into tools of the trade. Thanks for watching.